Hey, Robot, we back again for another banger. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Y'all send it to everybody, let them know we on. This is about to be good. Earth frequency going from the heart chakra to the crown chakra, from the green energy to the purple energy. And you can feel the vibration of the planet speeding up. Cause I'm even starting to feel lighter, right? It's certain foods that finna really, I believe they're finna go out, man, because they ain't conducive with the fifth dimensional frequency. Like hot dogs and all of these processed foods, I believe they finna go out. Hey, Chief, you want to say something before we roll that, start rolling these clips?
Yeah, I do. This is a update on Angel Bay, Jeff Ford. On November 11th, he collapsed in his cell and they rushed him to the hospital from ADX. That's the only information that we currently have. We waiting on his family or ADX to release any further information on him. We don't know nothing yet, and the Bureau of Prisons isn't saying anything one way or another. So send some positive energy to Chief Malik Angel Bay. This man done been locked up just as long as Larry for some stuff the government contrived to lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
With that being, put out there for the public to be aware. Um, we waiting on more information to know what his health status is. But as of now, we don't know nothing else about it. So that was the well, I call it Gorilla 7 news report for the day.
Go ahead. I
All
like
right,
it.
and we can go on and proceed on with the rest of the procedure.
I got it written down in my notes. I'm gonna get more on it. I'm gonna look more into it after the show and then give you an update. Let's see. Let's roll that first one. All right, what you
Okay,
got?
so that was the purple aura of the Aurora Borealis. I'll never say it right, so charge to the game. But the Northern Lights, remember the last show we did, it was green, heart chakra energy.
Yeah.
Right? And we showed you where they showed you the earth being crowned with the green halo, which was the love energy. Now you seeing the purple one.
Mm-hmm.
Purple is crown chakra energy. So that means that the earth now, Gaia, is fully awake.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to crown her with love to bring her to life. But you won't know until the corona is crowning in the right color. It comes across in the Schumann.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So now we seeing the energy also produce a strange what looked like a forest effect in the Schumann resonance. You want to pull that up?
Did you send me into it in the clip? Because I only got
No,
videos.
it's just a picture. It's just a picture. It's the
Dang,
Schumann resonance. The picture I sent you.
Did you send it to me yesterday? Because I think I downloaded all the pictures. I ain't seen no pictures. All I saw is 3
Hold on,
videos.
let me look and make sure I send it to you here because I could have just.
I got a picture with the one you sent me the other day with the
No,
green light.
no. Let me show you. I'm gonna send them to you. Can you transfer them over if I send them to you?
Yeah, the picture. I can do the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Aurora alert. We think we showed that last show. All right, let me send it to my I'm gonna send it to my deal. All right, I got it. Hey, y'all, let me roll that next footage while we wait while I'm loading this up.
So there's 8 Schumann resonances, and Schumann was a German mathematician who predicted the existence of these, so they're named after him. That's why that name. There's 8 of them. First one is 7.83 hertz, right? Then 14, 20, and so on. Turns out all 8 of the Schumann resonances overlap with human brainwaves. So what I just say? The 2 primary magnetic systems and rhythms of Earth overlap exactly our heart rhythms and our brain rhythms. Now, what's really fascinating, and I don't know if this means anything or not yet, but it's an interesting observation. I mean, earlier I talked about how the heart's the big field, 3 feet, brainwave an inch that you can measure magnetically. Well, it's the same ratio at Earth scale. So the field line resonances, which are the same as the heart, are many orders of magnitude larger than the Schumann resonances, right? So it's the same kind of ratio that Earth's operating at as humans are operating at.
There are people who are saying that the Schumann resonance is off the scale. Normally it's 7.83 cycles per second, which is the heartbeat of the Earth, which is why we should walk barefoot. It grounds us, and then we are in sync with the pulse of the Earth, the heartbeat of the Earth. The sun has been doing strange things, and there are other planets that are affecting our solar system, and all of those create new energies, which drives the Schumann resonance bonkers. Some have measured it 11 and 16 and higher cycles, you see? So that must have an effect on people, some more so than others, some don't feel anything at all.
The entire Earth is moving into another dimension. We're living in very exciting times right now. It's things that have never happened in the history.
And the Earth's energy, it's called the Schumann energy.
The entire Earth is moving into another dimension. We're living in very exciting times right now. It's things that have never happened in the history of the universe are happening right now. Vibrations and frequencies of the whole Earth are changing to what's called the New Earth. And this is in the Bible, too, in the book of Revelations, when they talk about the new heaven and the new earth. You're going through a lot of things to see. Main thing is getting rid of the karma. You're going through a testing time. Do you want to stay with the old earth? Do you want to stay on the wheel of karma? Or do you want to move on where there is no karma in the new earth? And many, many people are moving there. They're moving into it right now. In order to move, our vibrations and frequencies of our own bodies have to change to match that of the earth as it moves. See, the earth is a living being, too, and it's moving into its next incarnation.
Play that next one that was about to play after that, L.
Okay. All right.
It was about the Schumann resonance.
I got that picture too.
Yeah, we'll play the next one.
I got
And
it.
the Earth's energy, it's called the Schumann
crazy.
energy. And the Schumann energy of the Earth, Mother Earth energy, it resonates at what we call 7.83 hertz. It's a vibrating energy. Some of you who are very sensitive or very intuitive can put their bare feet on that morning grass that's a little bit wet, or on concrete, or on sand at the beach, or on brick, or tile in your house on the first floor if it's not insulated. You're not going to ground yourself with wood or asphalt. Asphalt's man-made, but concrete's good, brick is good. And some of you might feel that little vibratory energy of the Earth. And this is what happens, Tom. The Earth is struck by lightning thousands of times a minute, particularly around the equator. If you walk outside after a lightning storm, and that energy is so charged, or just walk outside any time and put your bare feet on the ground, you're going to absorb those electrons. This is why we take antioxidants, why some of us take CoQ10 out there, which is the best antioxidant you can possibly take, or melatonin, which is another, really potent antioxidant, is that it ties up marauding free radicals in the body. And these free radicals cause accelerated aging. But you can also get antioxidants through your feet. And basically, in our foot, what we have, K1 point of the foot, it's an acupuncture point. And when the foot is placed on the ground, what will happen is whether you're wearing leather or barefoot, is that through the K1 acupuncture point, there's an energy meridian that goes all the way up through the back, through your spine, through your brain, and on the back of your tongue, mouth. And it is part of what we call the kidney meridian in the body. And it's a major acupuncture channel which will deliver more electrons. Because remember, we think we're flesh and bones, but we're really electrical. We're electrical beings. One of the things that grounding does for you is that it balances the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. The experiments that I did with earthing, I mean, we shows that it supports heart rate variability, meaning that your nervous system is more relaxed. The other thing, the greatest discovery I've ever made in my lifetime as a physician, and we know that grounding for 2 hours thins the blood. And one of the reasons that we have so much illness in our society today is that our blood is like red ketchup. It should be like red wine. But what makes it like red ketchup? Well, trans fats do, sugars do, electromagnetics does. In other words, computers, cell phones, Wi-Fi. All those electromagnetic forces are they're chaotic forces, non-harmonious forces that thicken the blood.
All right, before we go to the pictures.
I got to. All right, go ahead.
So,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I wanted to stop on that because he gave us a whole lot of information. And when he called it earthing, grounding, but he mentioned the ions, right? So to dig deeper, you have to know what ionization is. Through ionization, you can absorb a mineral without absorbing the whole mineral's molecule. You just only absorb the ions that's charged with the chemical. And this is the way water carries memory, through ionization. So you can program the water. Your body is 77% water. Your brain is 80-something% water. And you can program water. If you can program water using ionization, you can program the fluids in the body using ionization.
I believe it.
Earlier, we seen another guy that was explaining that the frequencies of the human resonance goes through the same frequency channels, all 7 of them, as the brain and the heart. Now, the brain and the heart are 2 separate brains. You have another one that's called your intestines. This is the one that parasites like to feed you information through to take control of the host.
That's right.
Right? By chemicals, they can alter the brain chemistry at the top. But they can't do nothing to the heart energy. They can only alter the brain energy. Right? Based off the chemical reaction, you're going to respond to the thought. Right? And then you're going to act on the thought, because that's how you train conditioned response in this society. And so when you see in this human resonance, this is why I keep telling everybody, we're going to get a big solar flash. And then we're going to get a big Schumann eruption. Dolores Cannon was talking about we was moving into the new earth. Right? And most people not realizing that some people gonna fade from your memory altogether. They never existed in the new earth. You're not gonna even miss them because you're not gonna even know that they're not there no more.
Yeah.
Right? Because you leveled above their ability to move in the game. Right? Now, we in a holographic universe. And in the hologram, all of the information in the hologram is in every part of the hologram. Right? When you remember that, you remember that all of your brain cells are designed to download the hologram and make it what you call consciousness. This is externally driven, and we see it through epigenetics. The Bruce Lipton explains it better, and it's another guy named Tom Campbell who wrote a book called My Big Toe, which means Theory of Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they actually have some lectures y'all can look at on YouTube that's really good. And there's a guy named Greg Brading that shows you the power of focused concentration on a common idea amongst a group of people. Now, if you go study the Greg Braden model, you'll notice that every time they do a healing ritual, there's always 3 practitioners together on the healing ritual.
Mm-hmm. There's 3.
Right. Because when you get more than 2, when you get 2, you a channel. The bandwidth opens up tenfold for every person added. Anybody more than 3 people is overkill to perform a function of healing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that many. You only need 3. Right? Now, if you at a distance, right, this take us right back to where we started with Angel Bay. If you at a distance, everybody at a distance can focus and concentrate, and it'll amplify the bandwidth of the energy that heals. They call it Reiki when it's a sole practitioner, right? They call it a miracle when it's a group. So when you're looking at the Schumann resonance, it's telling you something every time it changes. Now, the picture we're about to go to next is going to show you a forest pattern. It did it a couple years ago and did it again a couple months ago. Like this like the 3rd one since this transitional phase started in 2019 that I didn't see. But now we finna tell you what does it mean and what is it tied to in the narrative of the Bible contract. So we're gonna show you what the Schumann resonance was. So you see right here, it says happy little trees. This is the Schumann resonance on the 11th of November. And I think his name, Mr. BBB333, but most of the people who follow the solar flares and the Schumann resonance know who he is on YouTube, right? And he also posted this too. If you go back to that date, it'll be posted on my Facebook page. Now, the reason why this Schumann frequency is relevant or important is because it's pine trees, not just any old tree.
Right.
These are pine trees, what we call them fir trees.
Evergreen.
Right, evergreens. Evergreen is the symbol for Nimrod in your resurrection story of the Christ on December 25th.
Right.
Right. But in the Bible, there's another purpose for seeing the cedar trees. You want to go to the next one there?
How long? You only sent me one picture.
I know I sent you 2.
Hold on, let me check again. You might have did. I might have didn't see the second one.
Yeah, I sent you 2.
Oh, okay, it's this one. Okay, all right. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it. Give me a second. I gotta get back out of this screen. I didn't see that one. Oh, okay. All right, let me just give me a second. I gotta switch it over. So let me roll this next one.
Has to do with this period of 2019 to 2026 and what is called the frequency wars. What are the frequency wars?
So the guides say that this is a period where there are different beings on the planet and off-world who are vying for control of frequency on the planet. So where is our mind set? Where are our emotions? What's happening physically? Where are we vibrating? And this has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years, really. And we're just now conscious that it's going on. So we're seeing the manipulation of frequency, whether it's in how we are conditioned to think, how we're conditioned to feel, all the things that are going on with our environment and how that's impacting our body, keeping our level of consciousness down, because they'd like to see our consciousness suppressed.
Every being that I've talked to through channelers says the same thing.
They're kind of at the end of their own game. The guides say that really we have crossed a point of no return. From their perspective, Earth will go through the ascension process.
Well, right now, Mother Earth, the vibration of the Earth is at an all-time high. Since the time of measurement of about 30 years ago, you could actually measure the frequency of the Earth getting higher and higher. So Earth is evolving. And Earth wants us to match the vibration, or we're going to get very sick. And we will not be a hindrance to Earth anymore because we won't be here. Yeah. Earth is going to survive, but the species may not survive. Just as we have eliminated many species through polluting the planet, we may kill ourselves. So I would advise people, to go in, become entrained to that heartbeat of the Earth, through your prayer, your meditation, your right nutrition, right exercise, and lift your consciousness. Because Earth is going to be okay, but the species may not.
The fifth dimension signs. The signs of transitioning to the fifth dimension mark a profound shift in the world's vibration, moving from the third dimension to the spiritually awakened fifth dimension. The third dimension represents the familiar physical world, while the fifth dimension is a non-physical realm experienced by those on a spiritual journey. During spiritual awakening, your senses become heightened to adapt to new frequencies. This collective awakening signals the commencement of creating a new Earth. Both the planet and our physical bodies are undergoing ascension. Ascension involves raising your vibration, shedding ego, and moving to a higher level of consciousness. However, this shift doesn't mean waking up to a perfect world. Challenges persist. Instead, these challenges become opportunities for higher consciousness. The fifth dimension is like our current reality, but functions on a higher frequency. It's not about being in a different physical place, but embodying a new frequency level. This shift causes your body, mind, and emotions to vibrate at a higher velocity, allowing your being to hold more light. Restructuring energy body. As you embark on your spiritual journey towards the fifth dimension, a significant change occurs in your energy self. It's like a deep inner transformation. Although it might not be something you see with your eyes, you can definitely feel it happening. This transformation involves cleansing out old memories stored in your cells and letting go of outdated energy patterns that no longer match the higher version of yourself you're becoming. Think of it as giving your entire being an upgrade. At first, you might become more aware of the need to release built-up stress from your body and mind. This includes not just the stress you're feeling right now, but also stress that might have been with you since you were a child. This heightened awareness helps you recognize and face long-standing patterns that no longer serve you, making it easier to let them go from your energy system. It's a sacred process of purification and aligning your...
Well, right now, Mother Earth...
The optimum frequency to harmonize the brain and the heart is a very, very low frequency, 0.1 hertz, 0.1 cycles per second. And this is no accident. And as a geologist, I find this fascinating because if you look at a graph of the magnetic field frequencies for the planet, the first big spike on that graph is 0.1 hertz. What that means is that when we harmonize our heart and our brain, self-regulating this powerful force within us, not only are we harmonizing the organs and systems within our body, we are harmonizing our body to the greater body that we live on. We're actually harmonizing our biology to the magnetic fields of a planet. And this is where healing begins.
That was
All right.
Greg Braden. That was Greg Braden in that last one. And he was talking about
Okay.
tuning into the earth, the frequency of the earth. And he brought up a number, a healing frequency of 0.1, right? That's taking on 1 point more energy than you expel. Point tenth more energy than you expel, which keeps you in a state of stasis. Now, when we see those spikes in the human resonance that look like trees, this is the related biblical reference that tells you a time frame, right? It say, the righteous shall flourish like the palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. So this is letting you know, based on the frequency of the earth that matches the cedars in Lebanon, when the frequency shifts up, right? The ones that's classified as the righteous, those ones with the right frequency of the new earth is going to be upgraded.
That's right.
Right? Your whole life going to upgrade right in front of you, and you're going to be like, damn, I was just broke a couple weeks ago, and look at me now.
Right? I can feel it.
Right? But we gonna see it when it happened in the public domain. The people responsible got to come out and tell y'all, because they holding the chiefs captive. The chiefs can't give the report to the people that they supposed to give them.
Right.
So it leaves the burden on the ones that's pretending to be the boss to come out, and they have to tell the story. This is why they finally voted to release the Epstein files, to accelerate everything. It's just an accelerator. They just pulled gas on the pile. Now they just waiting on the match to hit in order for it to ignite. So they striking. The earth is telling them you got a short amount of time, because look at the numbers. Psalms 92:12, right? 9 and 2 is 11. 1 and 2 is 3. That's 14. So we're looking at chapters and verses. What chapter is Psalms in the Bible? Like 8? I ain't even finna look it up. My give a fuck meter don't even move that far. But the numbers tie in also to other things. The 92 can tie into a year. The 12 can tie into December. Right? You can flip the 92, you get 76 on the calligraphy flip.
Yeah, that's right.
Because the upside down 2 look like a 7 and the upside down 9 look like a 6. Right? So you got a lot of stuff going on here according to pattern recognition. Right? And in the pattern recognition, we see the trees. They only show 4 here. Motherland, each representative of an X. Right? Go back to the Schumann picture for a minute, Elder. So you can't really tell how many trees, but I see what look like 4 on the left, then 2, then 2. That'll make 8. Then 2. That'll make 10. Then I see 3. That's 13 with a shadow over the ocean. Because at the bottom, I see it look like water down there.
Yeah.
And the trees are casting the shadow on the water. So it's 13 trees above water. Water represents spirit. The spirit of the earth is what we're talking about. So the shadow of the cedars or the trees, the fir trees, the evergreens, right? The Dumuzi or Tammuz, the sprout of life, it's all right here in this story. The 13 is the Queen Mother, Queen Mother's number for her seal. The Queen Mother seal takes you to the center of the zodiac. the center of the zodiac wheel is the 13th sign. And me and B-Dell was talking about it yesterday. I can't never pronounce it, so I'm not going to even butcher it. But the 13th sign of the zodiac can only be present if the 13 months of the calendar is restored. So you go from the zodiac seal of 12 to be broken by the Queen Mother's key, which is her seal of 13. 13 backwards is 31. And they pass us the 13 as 31 to conceal the Queen Mother's presence on the flip.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the 3 and the 1 is 4, and the 4 is the four-corner shuffle, and the four-corner shuffle is the motherland, which makes up for the red sky. Right? Now remember, when we seen the first video, you want to go back to that for a second, Elder?
Yeah, I got you.
The first video is showing us the
Yeah, unmute, world. You can talk to me, unmute.
So
Okay.
the song 1999, right? Remember in the beginning of the song, he said the sky was all purple and there was people running everywhere, right? And the same time the sky was purple, you had a you can stop it now.
All right.
So at the same time the sky was purple, we had an uprising in Mexico. It was one in, well, the Nepal been going on for a couple of months, but it was still in progress. Mm-hmm. So that make the words of Prince prophetic. And it was another one. I think it was the Netherlands, was also the people was protesting against the government. Right? So the 1999 reference derived from the Purple Sky from the Purple Rain album. And the Purple Rain album came out in what, 83, 84?
83. Oh, make sure. Like it's 83.
Let me look it up.
When did the Purple Rain album come out? It came out in 1994, June 25th, 1984.
What's Baba's birthday?
Baba's birthday is June 26, 1945.
Mm-hmm. So Prince dropped his album one day before Baba's birthday in 1984.
Yeah.
Me and B-Dell went over 1984 quite thoroughly last night. But just to touch on a few things, 1984 gave us Readiness Exercise 1984, being exposed upon the discovery of the Iran-Contra drugs for guns investigation revealed Readiness Exercise 1984, and it was written by Oliver North and Poindexter under the direction of George Herbert Walker Bush, the director of the CIA, now vice president. Okay, so now the Readiness Exercise 1984 gives us the government operations against the people in the form of Iran-Contra. Okay, 1984 also give us George Orwell, 1984, right? George Orwell learned from Aldous Huxley, author of The Brave New World. And both of them was good friends with Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged, which brings us to the coming solar flare, right? So they giving us references. So from 84 to now is what, 44 years?
Yep, about 40.
Well, 41 years.
84 to now, 20. 04 be 2. Yep, 41. 41.
Mm-hmm. 41 years. So then we looking at reducing it to the 5 being the star of Venus, the love goddess, the harbinger of the return of the love energy, who was turned into a little fat white baby with chicken wings, and they called him Cupid. But the love energy was always come in by Venus, which is represented as the 5-pointed star, which represents the young maiden, divine feminine, ready to suit a suitor in order to be married. Mexican culture is called a quinceañera, right? Oh, in America, it's called a sweet 16, right? So you got different names for them all around the world, and you got different ages attached to them all over the world because different cultures have what you call a different age of consent. And then you got arranged marriages, and then you have arranged marriages that you don't know arranged. Right? Marriages was based on political bloodline hierarchy and heritability of wealth. Right? So you're gonna have a map that's gonna be in your book of life that you can't read with the naked eye. But the map is going to tell you exactly how to unlock your heritable birthright, which is your personal wealth. The ones of us don't do the work can't ascend.
Right.
Right. So they go back and recycle on the 3rd dimension until they prepare to ascend. And this is why they be talking about people going to heaven and hell, because the hell part is to go back to the Hellenistic Greco-Roman civilization that we under. Right? So that's hell. Then you got heaven, the new earth, heaven on earth. The only thing distinguished is the amount of love given. And only those who was willing to sacrifice through the pains of hell deserve the gifts of heaven. Because most people would rather sacrifice you than to sacrifice themselves. So self-sacrifice becomes the highest form of sacrifice. Yeah. Give up everything you love in order to get everything you love. Right? So you got to be willing to give it up, detachment, in order to secure it all. That's like farming. Farmers are husbands. You can't be a husband if you don't got a farm. Contrary to popular opinion. They think that a man in the house is the husband. No, the husband is the man who's mastered working the farm. It's called the art of husbandry.
Go ahead, Rod.
Right? The art of husbandry has nothing to do with the male pedophile priest's insertion of what they call romantic love. It got something to do with identifying the tribes, knowing where you belong on the land, knowing where you at on the land in relation to where you belong on the land, and then where you come from is where you derived your birthright jurisdictional claim. I'm Mississippi clay dirt walking. Stopped in the city of Chicago, the Windy City, the city of thieves, AKA Thebes, the second city of Kemet, that y'all call Egypt. But y'all don't want to talk about Egypt or the West.
Right.
Right? So we trapped between the city of the sun and the city of the sun. We the only people that got 2 cities of the sun. We got LA, the city of the sun, right? And then we got Miami, the city of the sun. We got 2 suns. The 2 suns is representative of the chiefs of the East Coast, right? But then you have something called the black sun, the dark sun, the sun that rises up the middle. We talking Louisiana Purchase territory.
Right.
Right? And so 57 North. That's a 5G flip. I just turned 57. I'm 5G now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all the way online with mine. 57 South would take me back home, right? But I got to take 94 East first to get to Chi-Town. Or is it 96? I always get them mixed up. But you know it's a number 7, my pattern, from where my roots lie with my mama line, Magnolia, Mississippi, Sunflower, Mississippi, Macomb, Mississippi, Town, Mississippi, Old County Farm Road, right? That's the Cook clan, right? We got the Griffins. We got the Knights down there, right? We all know who we is down there. We go there, we recognize each other as family, but we just different parts of the family. Sometimes we fight each other, but don't let an outsider come down there thinking these country boys are slick.
Right.
You're not going to get past the country boys with your slickery. So you take your city slicker ass back to the north and find your twin, and then you can come back, right, and set up your juke joint. And then you can find out why we call them sinners. Babylonian blood magic and Babylonian money magic. It's all out there in front of us now. The Pope got the white horse. The Pope comes through the same line I went through. He come from Haiti, through New Orleans, right, up to Chi-Town, to Italy. That's a bigger 7. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger 7 with a little hook at the bottom. Or, as you could say, a cursive J. Capital, that is. Right? And they turn the I into a J to make you a fisher of men. But a fisher is a crack.
Mm.
We don't tell you that part. And the fisher is in the mountains. And the fisher in the mountains is where the caves conceal the artifacts. But which mountains is we talking about? The Rockies or the Appalachians? Because I'm thinking Southern Rockies, Arizona. See, because we know the land. So we know where the artifacts at. We know where Mammoth Cave at, where they got Tut from, and they trying to tell us they got them from Kemet. Right? Remember I told you they was going to build a big-ass museum for all the Egyptian artifacts in Egypt?
Yeah.
You know it just opened up.
And where it?
In Egypt.
Oh.
And they got all of the artifacts that the world's been taking is being repatriated there. But it's only one problem nobody took into consideration when they start sending all those artifacts back over there. About 80% of them came from over here.
Right.
That's not in the mathematical equation. But believe me, we working on a museum too. And it's going to tell a different story.
Got him. Roll that next one then. I got you, roll that next one. I got some good stuff.
When is the collapse, the dimensional collapse starting? Is it already starting?
It's already started.
With the sound and the color?
Okay. It's already started. Thank you for leading me here. What you're going to start hearing about in the very near future are something called rods. And they will be something that will be videotaped. And what you will see are large streaks just shooting through the air that are etheric, but are being able to be captured on tape. And what you're seeing is literally 4th and 5th dimensional craft moving through space, not having the slightest clue that they're flying right through us. Okay? And that's because you're beginning to see the implosion. It's great stuff.
And ghosts?
Yes, you will see more ghosts, more apparitions, because those that are stuck between 3rd and 4th density will start being more and more visible as our frequency starts to raise and rise. A lot of them, unless they are healed, and I do not know how to do that, how to set them free from their self-imposed prisons, will be exiting, transitioning. Angels, folks, be very careful about somebody who tells you they're an angel. For example, I've asked about the archangels. And the Andromedan perspective of that is that the archangel Michael was literally a fleet of craft that were called Mikael. That was the name of the fleet. And they used to patrol the northern hemisphere of the planet when Orion was here in full force. Gabriel was the name of another fleet of craft, and so on and so forth. It has been changed and created into something that will save you and rescue you, when in fact, that was not the original intent at all. Okay. What's going to happen in the next 10 years? I will share this with you. There are definitely some things underneath the Sphinx, but the bulk of the real stuff that will tell us about our ancient history is still underneath the pyramid. And there was a vault built 3 levels deep, and the pyramid was built over it. Okay, that's where the real juice is. That's where the real knowledge is. The Sphinx will have some things, but it's a distraction. You know, these guys are real good at what they do, at diverting attention from reality, from truth. They're excellent at it. If they put that much energy into telling the truth, God, we'd all be out of here. You know? Okay, hold on one sec. I don't have it somewhere. Okay, things that are going to happen in the next 10 years. Number one, we're going to truly find out who we are genetically. Information will be coming from all corners of the earth from contactees. There will be more and more contacts, and they will tell us about the 22 different races and more of our history. There will also be massive earth changes. They will start with a magnetic pole shift, which could happen anytime between now and the year 2001. Things have been sped up. We're already starting to see the magnetic poles shift as we see birds migrate in the wrong direction at times of year. The birds move along the Earth's magnetic grid lines. And I wanted to share something with you. I'm very fascinated with the Native Americans. And I love to collect feathers when I find them on my journeys and my vision quests. And I was given this on 3/19 of 94, and I just want to share this with you. It's primarily about the Native Americans and the original intent behind them wearing the feather. In the ancient way, your native red American races understood the nature of the birds. The birds are very sensitive to magnetic fields and microwave energy, as you call it. They will migrate along the Earth energy grids, and their wings, which are made up primarily of feathers, were to be watched as they were very sensitive. To watch and follow the birds is to know which way the Earth's magnetic flows are moving. They would also, the Native American races, camp off these magnetic flows because the radiation would become harmful in time. The feathers are very sensitive to energy fields and magnetic fields. They are, in fact, an antenna. The feather would attract telepathic communication with all the tribe. As the chief would think or quietly discuss plans, the rest of the tribe would, in the ancient days, receive the message with few or no words.
Fire, what he said, that last little part when I shit about that, bro.
Yeah,
Now,
but contrary to popular opinion, the tribes that dealt with the feathers were bird tribes. Their totem animal was always a bird, an eagle, crane, owl. But you had other tribes that wore other things other than feathers.
yeah. Like the
Right. You had some who wore elk skins. So everything they wore was made out of elk from they hats all the way down to their moccasins.
right.
Right. And they would use the elk antlers on the chief's garment to show who he is.
Yeah.
He's the stag buck at the front. So when they go to war, all of the little bucks, they got one or two little horns sticking out on their costumes. I call them costumes now because it's a thing of the past. But the chief, they would know because he would be a 21-point buck elk.
Mm.
Right? So they know which headdress to follow. They're going to be walking in the middle of a herd of real elk at the same time. You're not going to never know that they coming until it's too late. It's the same with the Bison Clan or the so-called Buffalo Soldier that was eventually recruited by the U.S. military and made a regiment. But they really was after the fact. All the stuff the Buffalo Soldiers did, they did it before they was part of the U.S. military. When they became part of the U.S. military, they was castrated. That's the part they don't tell you. Then you had your Bear Clan. Everything they did, they chief wore bear skin. Big chief wear big bear skin. Right? And so we had different nature-related ways by which certain tribes went to war. We didn't wear a half of that stuff on a day-to-day basis. We dressed like them people in New Orleans used to dress. Them was the ones who gave us people like Dapper Dan that changed the whole character of dressing fly. Right? The same thing. You go down to New Orleans right now, it's an old man somewhere that will outdress anybody that you can bring in front of them.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I know that for sure, for fact.
You know, and they teach it. They probably we used to own suit stores until we integrated, and then all of the ones who used to teach us how to dress got pushed out by Italian and Jewish suit manufacturers or producers or sellers, distributors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it was always like the training ground for American culture, East, West, and North was always the big NO. That's why they the hardest to try to tell they not Indians out of everybody.
Right.
You try to tell them people in New Orleans that that's not their culture. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna go do Mardi Gras and dress up in feathers.
Yeah.
Like you ain't never said nothing. It's deeply enrooted in what's in the blood comes out in the culture.
Right.
We change the culture when outsiders begin to leak too much on it. And you can have it now. We don't want it no more. You understand? So our culture roots is old Mississippian culture that became known as Olmec, Aztec, Inca, Maya, all them old Mississippian tribes. Those are just different eras of the family's movement around the land.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't always stay in the same place. Why you want to stay in the same place for 10,000 generations?
Right.
Sooner or later, you're going to want to move to another part of your land. We got all this land up there in Canada. Let's go up there for a while. Right? We had that luxury. This is how you had the tribes spread out all over the land because we left and went all over the land.
Mm-hmm.
You know where we was at because we was always close to the water flow. All you got to do is look at the river system of America and you can see exactly how we populated the land, just like the river arms.
Right.
Just like the branch, because we use the rivers as the source of life, the water, the living water, the holy water, the 40 water, the bridge over the troubled water. It's all there.
Hey,
time.
41.
49.
Sprinkle, man. Sprinkle, man. Hey, before I go to that next slide, Roy, I got a quick question. Now, so as this Schumann resonance come in, and he just said something about the birds, because I do a little study on the birds. Will we see a change in the way the birds move? Because the birds have been moving weird. Like, and a whole bunch of birds fell out the sky. It's some weird shit been going on for the last couple of years with the birds. Go ahead.
Do you remember Alfred Hitchcock did a movie called The Birds, right?
Alfred Hitchcock.
He had a whole movie called The Birds, and birds was attacking the people. Right now, he got another movie. I think it's called The Day of the Animals or something like that, and all of the animals started attacking the people. This is something that they knew. If there was no humans on Earth working to rediscover the balance, Earth, when Atlas Shrugged, would turn nature up on the highest sentient being to dethrone them and replace them with something else. Mother Nature has sicked animals on people before.
Yeah.
And they call it ancient folklore. Right? And they call them fairy tales and fables. But nature will sick the animals on the people when they're not acting right. You got somebody that might spend their whole life shooting pigeons with BB guns. And then all of a sudden they become a pilot, learn how to fly, and the pigeon fly into his Cessna engine and cause him to crash and die.
That's how shit work. That's exactly how shit work.
Right? Because there is a spiritual hierarchy where every single animal has a representative. We just think they not sentient because they don't sit down and have conversations in English with us, or in Spanish, or in German. They still be talking to us. Some of us can talk to the animals, but most of us can't because we don't believe it's possible.
Huh?
And we believe that anybody talking to the animals must be a befuddling idiot or insane lunatic. Right? But the moon might make you tick a little bit closer to the animals if you listen to the moon. Since we already had to figure out how to take that energy and use it so they can use it against us, and we can harness it and use it in our defense. Because turnabout is fair play. Mm-hmm. The night walker energy talked to owls and bats. He talked to rodents, nocturnal animals. He's still talking to the animals. The day walker, he's talking to the day walking animals, the eagle, the wolf, the bear, right? But when he can walk both of them, now he's talking to all animals because now he didn't master his shadow and his light. This is what he's talking about when he was talking about you're going to start producing more light. That means your mitochondria, because they don't tell you how you're going to produce the light. Your mitochondria is going to turn up. The mitochondria is the fuel that fuels mitochondria. We call it love. So when the mitochondria turn up, the first thing got to happen is you have to match that frequency or it's going to make you bow down.
I can see that.
You're going to feel the hot flashes like you're going through menopause and all kind of stuff. That's just the activation. But once you activate it, you on land now. And if a woman know what to do with the raw material, it's a lot of us who've been studying for years and ain't been activated yet because they keep looking at us strange and weirdos because we be talking about political and social topics instead of about hoochie mamas and pimp gang. Yeah. Right? So they assume that we don't really, but when we come online, we find each other too. Do tag team duos like Young Elder and Rod Hayes and this mofo.
Talking about Scottie Pippen and Jordan.
You did?
96 Bulls.
Shit. Isaiah and Joe Dumas. Shit. The Bad Boys. All over the place.
We get busy.
Kareem and Magic.
We get busy, man. We get busy. Let the niggas in New York say, yo, son, I get busy, yo. I get busy. Tell you.
So New York got rich in culture because they got the best of the best from all the tribes south of New York. And we all know they was hosted by the Shinnecock.
Yeah. Hip hop.
Most of us know that the 5 Boroughs was a pre-colonial treaty between 5 tribes. That's why they had to count them all separately.
I didn't know that, bro. The 5 Boroughs was, that makes sense, though. Let me go look right there down. 5 Boroughs. I can name 2 of them tribes for sure. Like, I know it was the Shinnecocks. It was the
they got maps of the tribal alliances.
That's interesting.
It's maps with the tribal alliances on there, where you can see where in a certain area the tribes look like they densely packed. That means it's a close confederacy. A close confederacy look like the tribes right up top of them, but that's not what it mean in 3D. That's what it mean on paper. That the tribes is right on top of each other. But what it mean is that they bond is so strong that they the hardest ones to do business with because they don't want to do business outside of the tight-knit tribal order of that area. This is why they had to keep coming at us in different parts of the country with different negotiators trying to get us to do business with them.
Yeah.
Because we had different tribal setups, right? Everybody think the government runs Chicago. Government don't run Chicago. I ain't gonna tell you who runs Chicago, but I'm gonna tell you the government don't run Chicago. Chicago runs Chicago. And the only thing they can use the government for is to allocate the resources they've been held back from having and put it in the right places for the people to benefit. The government don't own New York either. If they really want to see who own it, let them run up in there with them suits on, talking about running somebody out them boroughs that have been there for 15 generations. Watch what happens.
Yeah, I see that.
You'll never see New York more united when you try to get an old, seasoned New Yorker who was known all over the country for being a New Yorker out of the land. You tell him he got to go. That's why they still there. That's why they still in the projects like that, because they refuse to move. They already demoed their home and made a big old park out of it, called it Central Park. Yeah. That was a whole tribal village that they bulldozed.
Yeah.
And what they do? They end up in Marcy projects. They end up in Queensbridge projects. Right? They end up uptown, scattered through the boroughs because they bulldozed their village. This ain't no secret. New Yorkers know what I'm talking about better than the rest of the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know how the colonizers usurped them. And they know who they is. Every borough got its name for a reason. They didn't just name it that. Manhattan is Manhattan for a reason.
Right.
The top hat in the Monopoly game. Mr. Manhattan. The banker.
JP Morgan.
Come on, man. New York, they slick on a whole nother level. We got to catch up. And LA got a whole different swag. Right? Either be about it or don't be. You either step up to the mic or you go sit your tail in the back. There's no middle ground for that energy. Now the only thing they got to remember is we've all been infiltrated by people that look like us that ain't us. And we see them black devils too.
That's it.
And once they get that and they click, they ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe no more.
Hey, I tell you something about Chicago, boy. I tell you, Chicago got some wind for your behind, boy. Up there. They got some wind. Look, they made that bubble jacket, that big bubble jacket. See, I got me one of them bubble jackets when I was up there. I was dating this girl. When I was in the military, right? She was from Chicago. Hey, this chick wore Timberlands, man. I ain't never seen a girl wear Timberlands. This girl wore Timberlands.
Oh yeah, that's
all different colors.
Yeah.
That's their style out there. They wear Timberlands. And then look, man, it's so the wind coming off of that front out there. That's
Midwest though. That's Midwest going into the east. When you're talking the Tims, the pink ones, the yellow ones, the cream color ones with the brown bottoms and the cream color with the green all that's all Midwest to the Northeast where they really sell them at.
Yeah, real hood chicks wearing them damn Tims.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at different times we allow everybody to step up and contribute to the overall culture. If you remember in the 80s when hip hop was most conscious, we was getting everything from New York. We was getting our nanny goat furs because we couldn't afford minks. We was getting our lambskin dress from them B-boy style, right? Chicago was giving us nubucks at the time and brogaines. They was you fall and hit the ground with them. The brogaines gonna go to your head. So when you know that you can't hit the ground in the fight. So now you finna catch these boots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gonna stand up like a man or you gonna get beat like a dog. So we get different stuff in different eras. LA came real strong in the 90s era. Right? And when you look going back to it coming full circle, the mid 90s was the South. Going into the late 90s. The South is showing us that they got, we got that swag too, baby.
Master P, Cash Money.
All them going into the early 2000s. But where do we end back up with hip hop now? We all over the place. Simultaneously, every part of the land is pushing out new artists with impeccable skills of all skin colors.
That's my next question, Rod. Being that we going to the Schumann residence and all of the drill music and the pretty much most of the Nubians that's rapping, it's a black on black type of hate crime inside of the song. Do you think that this music that we're gonna go? I see us going into a whole nother genre, adds more genres to the we had reggae, hip hop, pop. Some of them are really the same thing, but. Do you see us going to a new frequency?
If you've been paying attention, drill music is starting to go conscious. They starting to wake up in the drill now. Matter of fact, somebody who hate drill but catches drill is Phase. He dropped mad knowledge, mad bars, but the energy coming across is that same drill type energy.
Yeah, I think that's on purpose.
It's not a knock to him. It's like a accolade because he's spearheading that small group of the younger generation that's coming in with that same energy as the drill rapper. But now we saying our culture is not accepting derelicts anymore. Now we want thinkers.
Right.
So now he being like he being a third rail for that shit. So he had to come in and he had to make the moves he had to make because his target audience is not mine. He's my target audience, but the audience that he's targeting is not my target audience because they the ones I need him to talk to. If he can understand at his level where I'm at and what I'm saying, he can push the kids way past me. Because he got the leadership energy and the warlike energy that they want in their leadership. Contrary to popular opinion, we need leaders.
Damn so do.
And he's, for the generation that he's taking charge of, he's a good leader for that generation.
He's the man. He the next wave.
Right. And there's some other people out there too, but we was talking about a specific genre of music.
Yeah, the
And
drill.
you can see the way that he's doing his thing is how he do his thing. I can't tell him how to do it, but he's being effective in changing how the youth is presenting themselves on this music. And it's a lot of young artists coming out now telling the world we ain't never thought we was from Africa. What make y'all even think we believe that story?
Right.
Just because they told us that story don't mean we believed it. Just because we didn't say nothing when y'all was telling the story in front of us to other people that don't know our story, we didn't believe that shit.
Right.
Right. So now the youngsters is coming out with the music. They telling them. And then you got some of them, man, that's weaving into this it's an underwave of music coming through that's finna change the whole paradigm. As soon as one of these big artists strap on their testicles or their ovaries and go do some conscious stuff with one of these tribal dudes, it's gonna change the whole dynamic of the music industry on one track.
Mm-hmm. I see Lil Baby hooking up with FaZe. That's my mix. I see Lil Baby coming, you know, because FaZe been on at Lil Baby about what type of music he put out. But I think that Lil Baby gonna come around and hook up with FaZe. And that's gonna be that big move that you're talking about. I think that's gonna be one
That's a powerful move right there.
Yeah, they close
But
they already
see,
close by each other.
now look,
You know what I'm saying?
the Baby, they got him all wrong. He not no idiot. He not no crash out.
Yeah, he's smart.
He just been waiting on somebody that he can talk to on his level. And now he found somebody. So now he can re-strategize his approach. Because now he know he got somebody that he can come to and be like, hey man, I ain't feeling this. What you think? That he can talk to like that. Because he said, you can see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that'd be a hell of a collab.
Yeah, you know, Lil Baby's manager sent FaZe a message to try to get him to come to a meeting, to a show, but FaZe felt like they was trying to set him up, and it was right. I think so too, because you know, FaZe, he be on point when he feels the energy, but they did reach out to him though one time, so I don't know if they'll try again, but they did reach out to FaZe. I think the manager.
I don't think they want no smoke with FaZe like that. I think they really want to talk to him because a lot of these artists, man, they just waiting on the OG to tell them, hey man, they tricked us.
Yeah.
They tricked us.
Yeah.
And when the OG tell them, that give them the green light to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The last one of them that was telling us that it was all right to tell the truth on the track was Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. We might not agree with everything he did or said in his life, but we wasn't supposed to. We was only supposed to listen for the truth. Right? He gave us the blueprint, 5-5 Freddy, Yo MTV Raps. This is what y'all gonna see happen over the next 5 years. Why did he cap it at 5 years and 5 years later he was off the scene? The math is there. But if you don't know the math, when Jimi Hendrix was saying he's riding down in the interview in the car, and he was like, man, me and Pac ain't got no beef. He said, I told Pac, if he do his thing right for 22 months, it's going to take 22 years for you to see the result. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the hell is the Haitian Jack talking about? If you don't know hoodoo or voodoo, you don't know what he talking about. He talking about Legba calling Ogun to the forefront. This is what he talking about. If you going to be Legba, you're going to have to meet some dark characters. And I'm going to take you to meet them. Go back and listen to the Haitian Jack video. So he said, I took Pac to meet some of the characters that scare the average person. And he just looked them in their eyes. Right? He took them in basements in Hell's Kitchen to meet different people. Pac was getting the rub from the OGs. That's all that is. Before he can start doing what he need to do in order to call for the next rank and file in the order. Right? So we all had a mission. All of us didn't know what our mission was, and some of us figured it out and executed to the letter. Some of us discovered our mission earlier. And when we do, the only thing that we can rely on is stand in the position of right and tell the truth and shame the goddamn devil.
Shame is
You can't do nothing else. It's not designed for us to use the same dark tactics against them that they used against us.
Mm-hmm.
The bloodletting rituals. We just got to get our children to recognize how to see them black devils when they face with them. They the main ones pointing the finger at Whitey. The goddamn white man. And this nigga the problem. He don't want to take accountability, so he got to blame the white man. The white man got no power. White man ain't even white. He ain't yellow. He darker than me. So they got us all confused based on how they ran the simulation or the society, the experiment, or whatever you want to call it. I ain't participating in them shenanigans. Tear this shit down and let's build something better, because it's easy to do.
Hey, you know, it's a Drake did a diss song. And he was saying like he was dissing Phase in the song on that, but because he had wrote his Spider-Man thing, it was in reference to response to what Phase had dissed him on. But then he in the middle of the verse, he was saying, "As big as the white man, as big as the white man." And I ain't never heard Drake talk like that. But that's how we knew. If you listen to the song and how he structured the song, you can tell it's a comeback from the diss that Phase did towards him. But let me play this.
That's called an alley-oop.
Yeah,
it
is. Like it's clear as day. It's
alley-oop.
Say he got
look. Like, Drake get a bad rap.
Yeah, but it's clear as day. Huh?
Look, Drake get a bad rap. People don't know what Drake doing. I know what Drake doing, so I don't got nothing to say about him. Mm-hmm. Right? And if I wanted to press the issue, I just go get Pusha T if I thought Drake was an issue.
Yeah.
I don't even Push ain't even got to say nothing. I could show him a Pusha T picture, and if it was a real problem, it was over.
Yeah, because you don't
right.
want that,
So
that information to get out.
I consider it an alley-oop based off the way that the original rap culture was developed. You couldn't get in at the top tier until somebody at the top tier heard you and challenged you because they thought you was good enough to go to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's how hip hop started. That's why the what we used to call diss tracks, that's why that was always part of hip hop. Because it was the way that you passed from one level of hip hop to another level of hip hop based on who's willing to face you, who think you good enough where you can give them a challenge to prove that they the best.
Right.
They don't want no scrubs in there. They don't, like right now in the era we in, Curtis Blow would get ate alive. But in the era Curtis Blow was in, he was the greatest. But look at how hip hop has grown and changed. Look at how many parts of the land has touched the culture in order to turn it into what it is now. Hip hop has took over the world. You got Japanese hip hop dancers now. You got Czechoslovakians bumping Tupac and Ice Cube. Right? People up in Iceland talking about bees in the trap. Hip hop has took over the world. Because culture always comes from America first and expand around the world. Because we the originals and the originators of everything original. And that's how I know we was always here. In the original land. With the original people doing what they originally did. Innovate new culture. We are the salt of the earth. They just took our story and scrambled it up like eggs and thought we were gonna never recognize it for what it was. Once you understand the holy drama, all of this stuff you see it play out everywhere.
Man, I'm telling you, over and over again.
In cycles. All it is cycles within cycles. And anybody who haven't clicked yet, they haven't discovered the cycles they live their life by. Right? The only cycles that they live, they menstrual cycle or they wife menstrual cycle, depending on who it is. That's the only way they know about a cycle in life. None of us about no cycles, but you go through identifiers, and it's the mirror effect. It's like walking through the funny mirror carnival attraction. All of the mirrors, because of the shape of the mirror, gives you a different look in your reflection. It's the same thing with the cycles, because you're looking at it from a different angle than the last time you went through it. That's why you got to learn how to monkey flip.
Right. Let me roll some more of them clips, because we got about 35 minutes. Let me roll some of them. Maybe we'll get some of these clips off, because I got some good ones.
If you're feeling sick, that's one of the main signs that you are adjusting to a higher frequency. I've been paying attention to the Schumann resonance for a while, and I've been studying this information for a while. Dolores Cannon talks about how the Earth has been ascending since 2003. We're all shifting at our own rate, but the Earth is going through an evolution process and is helping us raise our frequency, but not everyone is going to match that frequency. A lot of people wonder what happens to those who do not shift. They just continue to experience their vibration. That's the version of Earth that they're going to experience. But what I'm wanting to say here is, if you're feeling sick, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling lost, you're feeling overwhelmed, just know this is the very last part before you enter that new frequency. You're going through this process in order to enter your new version. So take the time out for yourself to relax and rest and allow for yourself to adjust. All of these symptoms are just a sign that you're about to enter a new beginning. I've gone through several awakenings like this, and for a long time, I didn't understand what was happening, and I would feel extremely lost because I was feeling depressed. So I felt like something was wrong with me. But that was the opposite of what was happening. I was breaking through that version of myself and entering a new version of myself, which is like the metaphor for what the new Earth is. It's a new version of yourself. You don't change the Earth you're on. When you change, the Earth you're on changes, because time is an illusion. So from my understanding, the Earth is going through an evolution process and is helping us go with it, but it doesn't care if we go with it or not. That's just what's happening. It's up to us to match that frequency. And if you're feeling the symptoms and you're in tune with this information, you're definitely shifting. That's what's happening. You're entering a new frequency, and in return, your whole reality is going to reflect that.
This is the end of a spiritual season. It's the end of a 26,000 year spiritual cycle. And so a lot of people are wrapping up a lot of things in this lifetime. And those who don't have anything else to wrap up in their own evolution, they've come back to be of service and help out everybody else. And what's happening at the end of this 26,000 years is that the Earth is moving up in vibration or frequency from the third dimension, or third density is a better term, through fourth density, which is where we are now, and then eventually into fifth density. Fifth density is a vibration of oneness and unconditional love. So this is a dramatic and radical and unprecedented shift in the Earth's vibration. And those of us who are in body now came to assist with the ascension process. So what does the ascension process consist of? Well, it's essentially a process of purification. What is happening is that a lot of divine light direct from source is flooding the planet. And this is having a profound impact on every life form on the planet and also within the planet and around the planet. The light has the effect of bringing to the surface everything unlike itself. In other words, everything of a lower.
It requires 8% of the population on the planet to assemble the fifth DNA strand and be able to hold fifth dimensional frequencies in their body in order for Earth to be able to merge properly with Terra during this time cycle. We're not quite up to that yet, but we're close. So one of the things they're asking us to do is learn about our DNA, learn how to use the higher chakras to bring high frequency energy into the DNA, which helps it assemble. Because the higher you can get your DNA and your body and your consciousness vibrating, you're plugged right into the earth grid. It will make the earth grid vibrate faster. There's strength in numbers. The more of us that can do this, the faster the earth grid will vibrate. So it's one of the things they're asking us to do. If the majority of humans totally ignore this grand opportunity we're being presented with, there are two worst case scenarios. One is we do start to enter the morphogenetic wave period, and the grids are so far out of balance that it starts to make seals on the Earth's vortexes loosen, which will cause volcanic activity and it will cause plate shifting. And it could be on a massive level. If it's really out of balance, it could create up to a 45-degree shift of the angle of the Earth spinning on its axis, which we're history if that happens. Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
So I think we reached critical mass now of the awareness by now, because all the stuff that they were saying that was going to happen if we didn't make it, and they gave it certain deadlines, none of those calamities happened. It's like, so we made the deadline. We made that deadline of a certain amount of people being aware of the fraud, or these planet poachers that's trying to create this perpetuated debt system and lock us as slaves or whatever. So do you think I think we at critical mass, we passed 8% as far as people knowing.
You got to think it's 300 and something million people in America, but it's 8.4 billion. Well, 8.1 now. They killed a whole lot of people with COVID. But when you look at the numbers of people, 8% of 8 billion, right? So we're talking about 80 million people. Right. So it's a lot of people that's aware around the world, but are we at that mark? Right. But when the changes happen, they're going to be happening in real time. So you're not going to actually recognize the magnitude of the change with the shift, because to the naked eye, it's going to look gradual. But in 10 years, when you look back, you're going to realize it was breakneck speed that these changes occurred. Right. But while you're going through it, the fact that you're going through it causes what's called a time dilation. You become more aware of time, which makes you slow time down. So it looked like stuff taking a long time, but it's not. It already happened. It's already done. We just trying to catch up to where it's done at. Time travelers. We trying to jolt ourselves from the past into the future self, where all of this stuff is done and complete. But we still have to go through the awareness that comes with experience in the process. Because the awareness is what's teaching us.
Right.
And so when we go through the process, you gain the experience that gives you the best education you're going to ever get.
Hey, what do you say too? Because they also said that there's some people not gonna make the switch, and I can see that. Like it's like the people that say, "Oh man, I got to go see my pastor." Oh, I need to go buy McDonald's and get my kids something to eat. Like people that ain't aware of all these mechanisms, like you ain't aware that, hey, McDonald's, man, come on, man, you already know. We already, say like a lot of stuff. A lot of people know. So what are you like? I know some people that still real live bots. Like they ain't trying to hear nothing we saying, like nothing conscious. They don't want to hear nothing conscious. They want to hear, hey man, pastor said I gotta go around and make them $20 on Sunday. They want to hear. They want to hear that.
But those are NPCs.
Go ahead.
They just give us some background noise. They're not here to participate in parts of the change, or else they would be on a different path.
Yeah.
Right? They're non-player characters. They background actors in the movie.
Hey, the same type of people that when they was doing out the jab, I said, man, look here. I told them all. I told them, man, they ran me up out of there, bro. I said, y'all, man, this right here this ain't right. What they finna do, and it sum up with it. They said, man, you crazy. Bill Gates is smarter than you. He built computers, and he said that it's legit. So I'll listen to him. He got $1 billion. I'll listen to him any day over you. You don't got no money. What do you say to people like that?
Nothing.
You get the hell out.
I'm not. Why would I waste my energy on somebody who think that way?
Man, that's a crazy way to think, and it's people out here like this.
For them, it's perfectly normal, but for us, it's nothing that we can do to change that.
He pretty much lost. They pretty much lost.
Yeah, a lot of people not gonna make it, but we ain't gonna know it. Like you're not gonna have memory of certain people that was in your life. It's like their whole existence is going to be erased from your memory, and you're not gonna miss them because you're not gonna even remember they was there. You got people right now that was in your life when you was 7 years old, and you don't know if they living or dead. You haven't heard from them since you was 7 years old. They no longer exist to you. And in some future point, they might re-enter the game by stepping back into your life. Remember me from when we were 7 years old? Like, no.
That happened to my brother, man. My brother hit the lottery for $250,000, man. I never forget it. Off a $10 lottery ticket, man. And look, after he got the money, I call over there, man. He got somebody answering the phone for him. He got an assistant. Niggas get some money, man. Niggas get money. I'm telling you, man. Hey, I call over there. He got an assistant. I'm saying, look, it's my brother. I need to talk to him. They say, well, we gotta take you down on the schedule, and he gonna get put you to the list. I said, nigga, give me on my phone, my goddamn brother, right? And look, the dude that answered the phone, I didn't even know who it was, but come to find out, he was my odd cousin. But he popped up when my brother got the money. He all of a sudden he come out of nowhere, out of Grambling. He was from Grambling. My Aunt Moncat, my granddaddy's son named Aunt Moncat's son. And them people they got the coon eyes. Them down south, them coon eyes, them Cherokee coon eyes. Man, these dudes come out of nowhere. Like when he got that money, man, people, when you get some money, you gonna find out you got kin folks you ain't never heard of, man. They call you.
That do happen. But when most of these people get money, they had they have no connection to a lot of the people that be trying to get money out of them. Emotionally, like they have no relationship established with them.
Yeah,
that's your first red flag. I ain't never seen this SOB before. He come here and tell me he Uncle Joe's son.
Yeah,
man, Uncle Joe ain't never told me about you. Right? You got that money now. I'm the wrong relative to try that on though, because I'm gonna give you a job. You want some money? I'm gonna find something for you to do. What you know how to do? We finna open you up a storefront for something. You finna do something. You ain't just finna come live off me because I got it. I'll facilitate you earning it yourself, but I'm not finna. No. If I got it, we got it. If we family, but everybody that's relatives is not family. See, we just related by blood. The family, we got bond. We got time together and conversations and ass whoopings. You know, you see me fall down and scrape my knee when on the bicycle when I was trying to learn how to ride. Right?
Yeah.
We got in trouble together because we went to the store when we wasn't supposed to. Them the family I'ma remember. If I ain't never walked nowhere with you and I ain't never spent no time with you, we got to get to know each other before you start calling me family. Because when you start acting the wrong way, I know you ain't from my bloodlines. I know the distinct difference in my mama people and my daddy people. I know the distinct difference in my mama's dark-skinned side of the family and my mama light-skinned side of the family. I know the distinct difference between my father dark-skinned side of the family and my father light-skinned side of the family. They got differences. Right? I know I didn't spend time with my uncles and my aunties in the South. Right? My father left me with his Aunt Adele down in Canton. I don't know these people from Morocco and Iraq until I spent some time with them. Right? I stayed with my mama's sister in Macomb on the county farm road. I stayed with her other sister in Chicago. Right? I got to know relatives that I wouldn't have got to know if my mom and them didn't send me certain places. And they wasn't always with me, so I had to be a good representative of what they taught me. Or else the family would have rejected me. You know, get this little rat motherfucker out of here. Because that's how they talk. They ain't never called me a little rotten motherfucker, but they sure called me a little nappy head motherfucker. I'm cool with that. It was in the prophecy. So I expected it when I heard it.
Hey, Rod, do you know there's some people who never left out of the state they were born in their whole life? Like they 50 years old, they never been out of the state. I know some people like that. They never been out of their state, man. Like what is that? Like,
man, I know an old lady that live on the south side of Chicago that don't know what the west side look like.
What?
You never been to the west side.
In her own city. That's crazy.
But you got to think of like people don't, when they get comfortable somewhere, people don't like to move. We only move as much as we move because of government interference. We'll stay in the family farm as long as there's enough room for everybody until we busting the farm out the seams. Then Big Mama called the uncles in there and said, we got to figure out something. There's too many mouths to feed. We need to develop another plot of land. This is how they was able to capture us on the family farms and tell us they was plantations. We was already working the farms.
That's right, bro.
We was already growing the cotton, the sweet potatoes, the tobacco, the string beans, the collard greens, the corn, the bell peppers, the sweet pepper. We was already doing all that. Look, the history book, to make this make sense, Elder, the history books say that the black folks, the Negroes, the slaves taught the natives how to farm land.
Yeah, because the natives was from Russia and Filipino.
This is literally written in several different history books. And I'm like, this don't make no sense. How is the niggas teaching the natives that was supposed to be from the land? Why are they teaching them how to farm their land? You can't farm a foreign land and you don't know nothing. You don't know what the nutrients is in the soil.
Right.
You don't know the growing cycles of the soil. How they come from Africa and know all that about America and the Native American don't know? Make it make sense.
Full of shit. And then we taught them when they came over here, when the conquistadors came, they would have starved because where they landed, where they was trying to settle it was sandbars. And so, but we knew how to plant, we knew how to grow on sand, right? We knew how to, the natives over here, we knew how to grow on sand. So what we used to do is when we catch the fish, we'll take the guts out and put it into the ground with the plant and then neutralize the plant in sand and make it. They were trying to figure out how we was growing shit in sand. And that's how we was doing it with the fish.
Well, we also have aquaculture. Aquaculture is not new.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So when you go study Titicaca, you'll realize that the reason that they had it set up there because they had waterfalls. And the waterfalls was specifically for aquaculture. There's a lot of stuff that we grew in aquaculture that we discontinued when we moved to different parts of the land. So a lot of our food crops that we used to grow in farming was discontinued because of migration. And the other parts of the land didn't have the soil type for that type of farming. Or it didn't have the aquifers access to what they call it,
aqueducts.
No, I'm getting brain lock here. So you have, when you move from, like, let's say you originally been in the arid deserts of Arizona and New Mexico for 500,000 years, right? All of a sudden, all of the stuff you learn to eat there is not going to serve you when you move to Nebraska.
Right.
Right. You have to come up with a new food stock to survive off of in Nebraska than you would come up with in Arizona's desert. Right. So your dietary taste is going to change over time. Now you've been in Nebraska for 1,000 years and you move to Florida, you got to go with a whole nother type of diet. It's got a different terrain, different animals, right? You have to grow stuff different in Florida than you do in Nebraska. So you end up learning how to utilize the land to its maximum potential. So this is how you get a civilization to just disappear, that moves somewhere else. They had exhausted the local resource or depleted it to the amount where if we stay here, we can all die, or we can just all just pack our shit and go on over there and reestablish a new homestead.
Right.
And sometimes they broke up. Most of the time they broke up. Because if you take all the people out of Chicago, they're not gonna all want to go to Montana. Some of them gonna be like, hell no, if I'm leaving Chicago, I'm going to Florida. If I'm leaving Chicago, I'm going to Texas. That's what they talking about. Man, if I gotta leave Chicago, man, ain't nowhere I'd rather be than New York.
Yeah.
So when you clear that whole civilization of that city out, everybody not gonna leave together. They're not gonna all go to the same place and rebuild Chicago somewhere else.
Right.
And you can see it in the migration and all you gotta do is study the migration patterns of humans. You'll see it.
Yeah. In the South, migrations was due to like Jim Crow, where some people migrated to Cali, some people migrated to Chicago, Detroit.
Right. So that they told us that was because of the Industrial Revolution and people was moving north and west in search of work.
Yeah, that's what they told
Bullshit. Because if you go back 200 years before that, all of the natives was moving south and east. 200 years later, they all moving west and north. They going home. Gullah War's over. They going home. All hands on deck is now, we all go back home. And the ones that came from further away, let's say they came from Samoa and Tonga, they set up shop on the closest similar area of the land
San Diego.
So you see the largest congregation of them on the West Coast.
Yep, Sacramento.
Shout out Booyah Tribe.
The Booyah. I got you, Booyah.
Yeah.
Your boy that got locked up, he from that tribe. Your boy Tory Lane. He a Booyah.
Yeah, Tory better tighten up then.
Yeah, Tory, his daddy a Booyah.
Yeah, because he's gonna go home and he's gonna get disciplined if he ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing according to the code.
Yeah, he was flying straight, but he part of the same food chain. He part of that food chain where he came out talking about.
You said Tory Lanez. That's the one that went for allegedly shooting Megan.
Yeah, Stalin, Megan.
Yeah. So he good. He tight. He gonna be straight wherever he go. Because everybody on earth know he ain't shoot that girl.
It's coming out now, but I don't know what they're doing about it.
But the judge and whatever jury they put together, they all knew he ain't shoot that girl.
Yeah.
Or that guy, or whatever the hell that stallion.
Yeah, the guy, you had it right. Big guy, a big
right.
guy.
But you gotta realize that was a ritual. That shoot in the foot is a ritual. The shot in the foot is a ritual. Right? And it all it's saying in the ritual is tagging this character, Megan, as being a stand-up 10 toes down. The sacrifice is to shoot him in the foot. And you notice Megan gets shot in the foot and Tory Lanez go to jail.
Yeah, 10 years.
Right? 10 toes down, 10 years. One toe to the ear.
Damn, boy, that's some cold alchemy there, bro. God damn.
Okay,
bro.
but he ain't gonna be in it that long.
Nah, they working on overturning it now. Because the security guard came out telling the truth now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, they been knew the whole time the truth. All that was when he cracked that code on how to get that money out the record industry by bypassing the industry. He had to pay for that.
Yep.
Right? And Megan could have either let them kill him or take that shot in the foot.
Man.
That's what I'm telling you. Megan could have let them kill Tory Lanez or take that shot in the foot.
That's crazy.
Because he needs somebody in the industry to stand 10 toes down. Now, if you take this shot in the foot, he gonna suffer the consequences. Right?
Man, boy. Yeah.
And that's his punishment for showing all of these young rappers how to get their own money.
Yep. And cut out the middleman.
Yeah. And it's only one Teflon Don of independent artists in the industry, been in there since the late 80s. And that's my man Tech Nine. If you an independent artist, Tech Nine fill up football stadiums, hear me? He could put many people in the stadium as Drake, Kendrick, or any of them. And most people ain't never heard of him.
Yeah, I heard him, but he ain't big on the list that,
Look, remember Malachi had a book and he was like, people saying I ain't popular. And it was like, Clint Black, do you know who he is? He's a country and western singer. He sold this many million records. And most of our people don't even know who he is. We ain't never heard of him.
Yeah.
Right? He say it's the same way. Tech Nine is a perfect example of that too. This man that made he get all of his money for his album sales, or at least the highest percentage of artists can possibly get. Because he been independent the whole time. And he's done collabos with some named artists. Right? And then you got some other ones that came up under his, that they was his young guys, like Hobson.
Mm-hmm.
Got the formula. Mm-hmm. Off and running. So
hey, we'll take some questions from the crowd. Y'all drop them in the chat. We got about 10, 15 minutes. Hey, drop them questions in the chat for the chief, man.
So this one right here, the answer to that is yes, you can, because what they do is they use the copper wire in the sheets, and they put the sheet only in the grounding part of the outlet. And the same way that it grounds out rogue electricity, it's the same way it works. It's like having a lightning rod in your house when lightning strikes. You take all of the erratic ions and it corrals all that stuff so you're not stuck holding it to yourself.
Health is wealth. That's right. Health is wealth, goddammit. Hey,
What good is to have all the money in the world and you sickly with cancer laid up in hospice?
Right. Right. Hey, y'all, if y'all want to show Chief some love for the class, we've been dropping the Cash App in the comments every 5 minutes. But here's it for the guy that asked. Here it is right here on the screen right here. Right? Skype 8 is the Cash App. And then if you don't got Cash App, we got the PayPal right there, Skype 8 1001. Hey, drop them questions in the chat, y'all. Hey, Rod, so what do you think about being that I already know that we're going to the quantum money system. So is that quantum money system, is that part of the coming in with the Schumann resonance?
Look, we got to have a new financial system unilaterally all over the earth.
Uh-huh.
The BRICS nation is bringing in gold-backed currency with vengeance.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The BRICS nations is also tied into the U.S. Treasury, but they not connected to the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Trump was negotiating that last year. Was it last year? No, earlier this year. Right? So we have to go to a currency that's value backed in order to kill inflation. Everything is high as hell right now except labor. Labor can be bought through prisons, industrial complex, in third world countries for pennies on the dollar in value. Your labor, most people don't know, how is your hourly wage calculated? It's by BTUs burnt per function. BTUs is the heat your body produce. Right? Your calorie burn per hour generates your BTUs. This means this is how much food is required for the amount of energy that you're expending.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once they determine calorie burn per hour, they know how much food it takes for you to perform the job function for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. And so they know that if he need this many calories, he need to eat this amount of food, and this amount of food equivalent to this amount of money. And that's how they determine your hourly wages.
Wow.
By calorie burn per task is how you get paid per diem. A per diem is what's called a per day amount, right? But then they break it up into an 8-hour segment. So now it's not per day, it's per 8-hour workday. A workday being 8 hours, but a full day being 24, because you're supposed to get paid 24 hours a day, whether you at work or at home, because you still burning calories. If you on the payroll, your calorie expenditure at home is still burning, whether you at work or not. But work took and flipped it on us. So they turned off the clock when we leave the building, and they charge somebody else the same amount of their energy resource in order for the next 8 hours to run, so they can get 24 hours for the price of one person.
Damn, boy, that's cold. That's a cold play right there.
That's their business model. That's the what they call the indentured business model. It's to keep you into a perpetual state of servitude, never allowing you to earn enough money to permanently retire.
Yes.
If you notice, most retirees find a new job within 5 years of retiring because they're not bringing home enough from pensions and SSI to keep up with their bills.
My grandma retired from 2 jobs.
Yeah. And that's one of the perks of starting your work life youthful. When you start, the younger you start your work life, you should be about, if you start off like the average person around 14 and you retire from each job after you finish it with a pension, you should have about 4 or 5 pensions by the time you're 50.
That's interesting.
But all of that is if it was in favor of the people. As long as it's in favor of the corporations, they trying to figure out how to get the most amount of your free labor or your limited labor, right? And to get the most return on the labor that they get from you without you reaping any benefit. They want you to reap the minimum benefit for the labor output, right? Then they use what's called the slave scale. Y'all call it minimum wage. But anybody that doesn't have an hourly salary above minimum wage is by law classified as a slave wage.
Right.
Don't believe me, look it up. So if the slave wage is below the minimum wage, everybody that make below minimum wage is classified by law as a slave.
Right.
Unless you've been duly convicted of a felony, then they change the word from slave to prisoner. Still same. Because we was POWs and they telling us we were slaves.
Right.
We was held hostage at our family farm and they told us we was working the master's plantation. We ain't even know master didn't even have a dog in the fight. He was just up there pretending. Just like everything else they put him up to pretend to be in blackface.
Right.
Or in this case, it's in whiteface. Because the black faces that the blackface was telling us behind the white faces in satire so that we can put this shit back together. Stop believing that the pale man got all the power. He ain't got no damn juice. The niggas Yaqub left in charge, the black Hebrew Israelites, the black Jews, them the niggas the problem. And then these new converts don't even know they done converted to the enemy's camp. They done jumped out of the frying pan straight into the fire because they want to be the chosen ones of God.
Yeah.
That's the difference in being God than being the chosen one of God. Being God is being yourself. Being the chosen one of God is being somebody else's handpicked servant. But you got to make up your own mind.
Somebody said Nicki Minaj spoke for Trump at the
Yeah, you ain't know that? Well, she was talking to okay, so Trump was getting a lot of flack about the Christian massacre and the jihad that's taking place in one of them African countries. Nicki Minaj went to the UN, and the reason they use her is because she's one of us. And the way the world is moving, if it's not one of us making the complaint, the rest of the world don't take it as a valid complaint coming from this land.
That makes sense. Yeah,
so he needed to use somebody that was one of us. And he needed to get out of the way. That's why he wasn't there. He needed to take his star power out of the way so that whoever they trying to target at the UN, they not talking to no country outside of Africa about it. That's why they used her.
Right.
I don't have any suggestions for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's starting to come out now because they starting to track back the Dawes Road and find out that a lot of these people are not, don't got no blood ties to this land over here, and they serving them evictions. They actually sent some people back to Siberia about 2 weeks ago. And those were so-called Native Americans that was laughing at so-called African American for saying we organic original to the land, y'all Johnny come lately. In the middle of them laughing at us, ICE raided their ass.
Yeah, I think that's part of their plan. That's part of their
well, they should be grateful, because when they get where they're going, they also got a benefit package for being misplaced and trying to be used to replace us. They got a benefit package when they go home, but they can't get it while they're here. They just don't know it. Because you got to compensate them for using them to do the dirt you did to us. You got to pay them reparations. We want our birthright. I think Bobby Womack made it out by the skin of his teeth for the setup of Sam Cooke.
Yeah, he set Cooks up, man, and stole his girl.
Look, he didn't steal his girl. Sam pretty much gave her to him. Yeah, I remember. Sam Cooke brought the Womack brothers up from Mississippi. They was children of sharecroppers, dirt poor. And when Bobby Womack was staying in Sam Cooke's house, Sam Cooke did never come home. He just left the kid there with his wife.
Damn.
He brought him there. You know, he was, you take somebody in that's you trying to help out. And the dude starstruck over Sam's wife. To him, she was the most beautiful thing God ever created. Right? But the problem didn't come in with him taking over Sam's wife, because Sam didn't give a fuck about that no way. The problem came out when he made the deal with the Greeks to divide up Sam's assets. That's where the problem came in at. You see, Sam was the first independent Black-owned record label, SARS Records. Right? And so the Greeks was his, they was business associates of his, and they was trying to court him for a partnership, but he hired them as like a legal advisor, and the other one was like a distribution manager or something. Well, one of them was handling the paperwork. And then once they forged Sam's name, he had to die then. Because they end up owning his record label on paper. That's the same as they was doing with sharecroppers in the South. Yep. The ones who would pay back their debt and not need them no more, them was your famous lynching stories.
Yep, my granddaddy was one of them.
They was them the one that everybody you see lynched wasn't just a regular person walking down the street. For us and our people, they were individuals with great importance to us. That's why they lynched them.
He had 1,000 acres in Monroe, Louisiana. My granddaddy told me that the white man came and got him. First, he tried to get him to sell the land. He wouldn't sell it. Then he said they came and got him from the house. And then, boom, they found him in the lake with his hands tied up. And then all of a sudden, his signature's on the paperwork. And my granddaddy said that they forged his signature and had him killed.
And they was notorious. The reason they have him killed so they can't testify is not their signature. That was before handwriting analysis.
Yeah.
Right? And then in order to do handwriting analysis, you got to have what's called a verified control handwriting sample. So most of us wasn't letter writers. So they couldn't go pull no letters that we wrote to the chick we love on a neighboring plantation.
Yeah.
We didn't start learning English until the late 1800s.
Yeah.
Modern English. We spoke something similar to English that we picked up from the Scots and the Irish that came over here long before Columbus. So we already had the English language, but we didn't know nothing about reading and writing it. It was just another one of the languages that the chiefs had to learn in order to communicate with a group of people on the land. We didn't believe in forcing everybody to speak one language. Every tribe had their own language. And it was the responsibility of the chiefs to learn how to communicate across the barrier. That's where we came up with sign language, and what they call it today, American Sign Language. That wasn't for deaf people. It just so happened that they can benefit from it. But that was for one chief to talk to another chief that spoke an entirely different vocal tongue. That's what that language was for.
Makes sense.
You can look it up. American Sign Language is derived from the indigenous sign language of the land. We got signs that didn't even make it into the sign language. That have, like, we could see it in paintings and stuff that we make in certain signs. Right? So, I mean, we eventually, if you try to keep stuff coded around us, we gonna crack it. We write code, talk code. This ghetto code, the street code.
Yeah.
The Gil Scott Heron did it dash code. You understand? We always had codes in our language. And we always been code crackers because of it. Because we couldn't always say what we want around a group of people that look like us. So we made inferences to the ones that was us, that there's somebody in the room that ain't us, but he looked like us. And everybody know when the op is in the room because you see him swarming around him. What you doing here, buddy? Who you came to see? You say you came to see who? Where's she at? Oh, she ain't came out. How long you been waiting? Can't lie because they know you've been waiting 15 minutes. Because they waited 15 minutes before they approached you. When they cut that off, right? And they cut it off in the juke joints.
Hole in the wall.
Because that's where the flashy conquistadors and gentry would meet our women and seduce them. And she think he's so fine that he can't do no wrong. All the time, he finna take up everything she worth because she don't know the pimp game and he do.
Damn.
Now we know it all. We know the long kind. We know the long white kind. We know the pigeon drop, right? We know the 3-card money. We know the 3-shell shuffle, right?
Yeah.
We know how to tap the tills. We know how to till the tap, right? We know how to juke the vending machines. You can't keep running game on us and we ain't gonna pick it up. We just might not tell you all the game we picked up. Because as long as you don't know, we know it. We in the winner seat. Because you don't know, we know what your game is.
Yeah. I knew somebody like that would know games and sit there and hustle people because they knew they was hustling. That's funny.
I got a cousin who used to always pick the right card and 3-card money when he found them dudes on the street. They had got so used to them, they said, you can't play.
That's funny. Hey, y'all, we had about 6,000 people on. We got about 2,000 on right now, y'all. Hey, everybody send Chief $5. If you can send more, send more. If you're going to only send $1, send $1. If everybody send them $5, then put them in the game till the next time we come on. Like I said, if you a baller, though, and you really want to put Chief in the game, keep him in the game, send him $100. What else I want to say? You want to say anything before we get out of here, Rod, on the Schumann residence?
No, I think we didn't pretty much covered everything about it that people need to know. Right, so, yeah.
And then the AI tape will be coming out called the Schumann Resonance and Earth Fifth Dimension Frequencies. It'll be coming out on Friday morning at 7 o'clock. So y'all stay tuned for that. It'll go along with this. It'll go along with this class. Yeah. So what else I want to say? Free. Man, we hope Jeff Ford we found out more on Jeff Ford. We're gonna keep you updated on that. On him going to the hospital. So yeah, much love. Free the master teacher, Dr. Malakazi York. Free Larry Hoover. We still working on Larry Hoover to get out. They running some kind of game, man. The Illinois governor, man. Come on, Larry supposed to have been already out right now.
Listen, The Illinois governor, he walking on a real short leash right now. You don't even know it.
Man, I'm telling you, he don't know what he playing with. This ain't nothing to play
Look,
with, really.
ain't gonna look. If he ain't gonna do what needs to be done by Larry, don't worry, it's gonna happen anyway. Cause his ass finna get caught up in some shit. Cause he's been involved in some shit he shouldn't have been involved in. And that's all got to come out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he gonna either cut Chief loose or he gonna get cut loose.
I can see that happening, man. Because we in a frequency now where everything that was done wrong got to be made right.
Well, some stuff is gonna take a couple generations to fix, but we cool with that.
Yeah.
We waited long enough and went through enough suffering that we can endure the gradual build up to a better tomorrow than a quick tear down of the current today.
Right.
We ready for it. We just want this shit over with. Because this is some unnecessary shenanigans now. So they got the elders in there. They done been held them hostage and keeping them away from the public because they won't tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got one out here telling the story now. So there ain't no sense in you holding them now. You go and let them go. Because I done already spilled the beans. I done told them who did it, where they came from, why they done it, how they done it, when they done it. I told them the method, the strategy, the tactic, the underhand shit, the infiltration, the snitch program, the COINTELPRO, the Rex 84. We didn't put it all out there.
Yeah.
And how it all connects.
The whole 9 yards. Like my granddaddy say, the whole 9 yards. Hey, where they get that from, Rod? The whole 9 yards.
I think that's to go back to the railroads, and they used to use so many tracks. I think 3 tracks make 9 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
So when you put the whole slab down, you're supposed to have 9 yards of track, or the whole section.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fire. All right, y'all, we about to get up out of here, y'all. Peace and love and harmony throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu.
Wadu.